Hello, welcome to another podcast. It is hosted on my channel today because we're switching it up and we're just doing like a back and forth kind of deal. Hello, Rokar. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the podcast. We're talking about Arena today. So we're going to introduce ourselves one by one. I will introduce myself. I'm the host, brethnew. I stream, I do YouTube. I've got Faber1 here, SpartanSlash, and Superfly Ninja Scroll. Introduce yourself one by one. Let's start with Faber.
Yeah, I'm Faber1. I actually kind of new to the game, to PlanetSide in general, and I joined PlanetSide when I heard about the announcement of an arena. So that's pretty cool. Started playing PlanetSide 2, and right now mostly waiting for PlanetSide Arena. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, actually, almost all week. And I do videos on YouTube on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
Okay, and you, SpartanSlash?
I'm SpartanSlash, either one. I do YouTube. I do a little bit of Twitch as well. So I don't have, as good of an upload schedule as some of these guys do, but it's great to be on the podcast. I've been playing PlanetSide 2 for maybe 2 years now, so I'm on that line where people could, call me a salty vet, but I'm not really a veteran of the game or the franchise. But I do have that kind of in-between opinion on the game. And as well, I'm also still waiting for PlanetSide Arena.
And Superfly Ninja Squirrel, aka Charles.
I've been playing the game for this month will make 6 years. I've been uploading to YouTube for 2 years. I upload about 3 times a week, not on any certain day, and I stream once a week, Friday, 6 to 8 Central Time. And then maybe occasionally on Twitch if I ever do that. That's all I got.
Internet's still broken?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if I cut out, I'm not ignoring. My internet's just broken, and I will be back.
So we have something to discuss. PlanetSide Arena's delay, obviously. And I have a couple questions. But first,
big deal this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the delay is caused by?
I personally think that the delay was probably caused just by, one, Apex Legends. Just with the release of that, having them release it, if they were to release it in March like they wanted to, it probably would have not gone well for the game, as it had problems. There was a lot of server lag and problems like that, and it wouldn't have been able to stand up to the competition right away, and would have, as I know Sirius said it in his video, dead on arrival.
Yeah. Like, what do you think you guys think could come out of this delay?
I think that it'll either be meh or it'll be bad.
Oh no.
Wow, that's very positive, man.
Yeah. That's the most positive I can get. I think that they didn't know what they were getting themselves into with the game in general. And they already had the model of a game this size like out there with Fortnite, like Battle Royale type thing. They know that the bar was set high, and they still chose to kind of dilly-dally, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Totally, yeah.
They delayed it to March, and then they delayed it till the summer, and then I'm thinking maybe that it will be free to play in the summer. I don't know. I don't think anyone will buy it.
No, I mean they did refunds, right? Well, they're supposed to.
They're doing them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should be automatic, but it's taking some time.
Yeah.
But I also saw some people on Reddit just posting, "Can I please keep my pre-order? So I will just leave your money over there."
Like,
really?
Yeah.
Very positive about it.
Want to help
Just to
fund the
enjoy
game
it.
still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess people just want to throw money at it or something.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
get it.
people
I mean,
kind of already do throw money at PlanetSide too sometimes.
Yeah, me being
I had
one of
a
them.
phase where I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of the whales probably. Whales being people that spend a lot of money on the game. Unfortunately.
Or the
I
sound
haven't
that
spent the
galaxies
dime
make.
yet. I'm just a bit cheap, maybe.
No, I mean you're new to the game. You'll get there.
Oh no, well, maybe.
They'll come
I've
out
been
with
here for
something.
6 years and I've barely spent anything. So
Yeah, I spent maybe $10-15 on the game. I bought like a gun and some cosmetics and stuff, but
Okay, I've spent at least $200 on the game so far.
I
wonderful.
mean, for a game that's 6 years old, not that
Yeah.
much, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you buy every year a new Call of Duty series, then you're in 6 years you already spent like $360.
That's true.
maybe
Yeah.
more.
So I guess $200. Maybe I'm not a whale then. Maybe people spend
Yeah.
thousands of dollars on this game.
Well, yeah, I
PlanetSide
mean,
too.
Have
I
you
wouldn't be
ever heard of
surprised.
of Star Citizen?
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention. I've spent like $300 on that game, and I got
Yeah.
it a year ago, less than a year ago. There's people, someone in my organization has half the ships in the game, and that's like
Jeez.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, somebody was in my chat the other day. That they said they spent over $2,000 on the game or something, and that to me seems insane for a game that's not even finished.
Yeah,
And the worst part is that those guys are not even the whales in Star Citizen. They're guys who spend over $10,000 just to
yeah,
get some ships.
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is how
What-
they do their funding. So it's just for a different form of it.
So, back to PlanetSide Arena.
Yeah.
What kind of benefits or consequences do you guys think? Like, what are the good things that you think could come out of this? Squirrel.
I got
He's very
nothing.
positive,
No.
isn't
I think that maybe they can. Oh God. Just have everything ready. Oh,
I think somebody in the
Hawkers,
chat
wow.
noticed something very good. They're taking the extra time to listen to what the beta testers have said and maybe learning some things from Apex success. And maybe it will help.
Oh yeah.
I think watching to what made like Apex a success can really help in getting the game across to people.
Like
It might be one of the benefits of doing a delay.
Yeah, like after the ping system in Apex, I just find myself trying to ping things in every game.
Same.
So I think adding a system like that to Arena could be crazy beneficial.
I mean, they already have like pressing Q can mark enemies. I mean, I found it was broken sometimes in the beta, but like
Yeah.
they could improve on that totally and have, because markers, there's already like placing markers on the map, but it'd be cool if you can easily place those with a hotkey instead of having to open your map and
Yes.
click on somewhere.
That would
Because
be
with the overhead map, it's a lot harder to find the specific spot that you're trying to mark.
yeah,
Especially like the double clicking to mark a spot that's an enemy. I think that's useful.
it's mostly just terrain on the map too, right? Terrain and buildings, so you can't like
Yeah.
and since it's overhead, you don't really get the
I mean, you don't get the levels of the terrain.
Yeah.
You can kind of see where buildings are,
yeah.
and that's about all the info you get on it.
What kind of bad things do you guys think could come out of this?
Ooh. Well, actually, something I was going to mention too is I think that they already had plans to bring it to PS4 sometime over the summer, and then they're maybe like this is just. I mean, it could be that they're adding PS4 support, and that's going to take up most of their time. But it could also be that they're going to have all this extra time now because they're simply delaying it so they can have that release at the same time. Maybe that's the only reason they're actually delaying it. And then they might
Okay.
have that extra time to, add more features, which would be cool. But since they're delaying it, and since even if the PS4 was going to come out in the summer, I'd assume that would be because they need to do more work on it. So maybe they've started. I know I've heard some people talking about how the game feels like it could be a console game, so
Yeah.
it won't take very, very much, changing over for it to work in console.
Does anybody here know how big the development team is for Arena?
Like 70 people.
Oh,
So
that's not
it's a
bad, I
decent
guess.
team, but
Yeah.
not the biggest.
No. You think?
And they did lay off a bunch of workers.
Yeah. Was that like contract workers, or?
I don't know. It was just like a ton of workers, and then that was before they announced the game. So people were thinking it's either they've messed up and they're cutting a project, or they're releasing a game. And those are the two options, like the two possibilities. So, and then they announced PlanetSide Arena, but they did lay off a lot of workers beforehand, or a lot of developers. I don't know what like departments they were in though.
I think maybe they were probably contract workers, just
Okay, yeah.
crunching, getting a lot of work done, getting paid for it, and then
That makes sense.
hopefully.
In the
Hopefully.
game development industry, it's very normal to pretty often switch from developer, because when a game is finished, they tend to just move over to a new studio. So it's actually pretty normal to have a lot of layoffs. But a lot of people see it as something very negative, and especially since the game isn't finished yet, it's maybe a bit you can't really understand where they're doing the layoffs right now. But it is pretty normal in the industry.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like CD Projekt Red has developers coming in and out all the time because of that. So
Yeah. A good example too is Battlefront 2. I remember when that came out, like beforehand, EA's got a lot of money, so they've got hundreds of developers working on the game, and the game came out, and they cut all those developers to go work on Battlefield 5, and then once they had to rework that, because they had to rework the entire progression system, and when they did that, they had so few people to work on it that it took them months to finish.
yeah.
And it's really hurting the game. So hopefully, they're calculating their time based on the amount of developers they have too, right now, so that they can get it done at an accurate timestamp, so that they're not like get to summer and realize we have more stuff to do still, and then they have to decide whether they push it out as fast as possible or pull back on it.
Yeah, do you think like they'll be able to produce enough content with the development team then to fill out the battle pass every 3 months, or not?
I'd assume having a battle pass system that they probably took that into account. I'd hope so. If
Yeah.
they didn't take that into account, like, since considering that it was supposed to come out, what was it, the 29th of January or December?
January.
January. So since that was the original release date, and they still haven't, since they laid off some people, but they still had a decent team, I assume that they calculated that they'd need to keep working afterwards, just because, for one, PlanetSide 2's had like a really long continued development, and for years now, even though it's an old game.
Yeah, it did.
So.
It does.
Mm.
But they also produce enough content for, like, they produce armors, decals, and they have the community developing content as well. So with PlanetSide Arena, I don't know if they're going to get the community to do it or not, but if they don't,
I don't know. Is Doku is a community member, right? Just a normal player.
Is he?
Because I saw him posting a new sniper rifle on the Reddit page.
Oh, I didn't know he was a
I don't know.
community.
I thought it was something, because I know people mention like Doku armor sets. So maybe he's I don't know if he's just I'm not sure if he works on the game at all, because I don't remember him being mentioned on like physical developer videos ever. But I know that people have been like, oh, that has like a Doku art style to it. So it's been a bit confusing to me on what exactly that is.
Doku art style?
Yeah, like the armor, for example, in the PlanetSide Arena, or the base armor and stuff. A lot of people, or the Sanctuary armor, actually. People were saying, I think it was Sirius, actually, was saying that it looked like it was a Doku armor set.
Oh, for like stuff he's just posted on social media?
No, I was thinking one of Sirius's videos, Sirius Gaming.
Yeah, but like on what, like, specifically? Like, which armor set?
The Sanctuary stuff for like the
Oh,
Sanctuary
okay.
Assault armor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the stuff that was showed off in the trailer.
It does kind of look that way. Like he definitely has
Mhm.
a specific style when it comes to that.
It does. I mean, even though I don't really know who he is and I don't fully know the style, like from having it mentioned a few times, like I can kind of tell like which ones are his style now, even though it's only been a few. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it seems like his style is more like exaggerated.
I think it looks nice.
It does. It looks more stylized, I think, just slightly, but enough to be different than the traditional
Yeah.
plant side style.
It's got some cool stuff. Like it's got, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like it has like weird heat sink pieces. It looks like it has functional pieces to it besides just being plates of armor.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
What else do
Well,
I
back
have
to
here?
the decal topic. I mean, right now you can make your own aphids decals, right? And you can sell them.
Oh yeah,
I think
True.
such things are easy to just take away from PlanSide 2, copy, implement, and then make some extra money.
that'd
Yeah.
be a great idea. I think it'd be cool if they had, like for example, with how CS:GO does it. There's a Steam workshop, and players or the community can submit skins, and then they're voted on, and they go through, and and
Yeah.
then Valve will add them into the game. I think that'd be cool because, I mean, even if you have a small developing team, sometimes the best developers you can get are the community because there's a lot of
There's a lot
people
of
who are
talented and passionate people in the community.
right. So they could add, skins, stickers, all sorts of, cool, fun stuff. Could be added just by community members.
Yeah. Like I think with the 70 people or whatever, however many people they have, I think if they take the best parts like of Steam and Apex and like a bunch of other stuff, then they can probably make a really good game.
I think at this point they have to go towards, instead of like, I think their original idea was to be like that unique planet side feeling. I feel like now they have to kind of almost do what Anthem did, where Anthem took what they saw in the best in pretty much all these different games, where it took things from like Warframe and Destiny and it pulled them together into one. I feel like if PlanetSide Arena can do that, it'd be really cool if they brought in just the customability of Steam. And I mean, a lot of people, I know some people who say they refuse to get Apex just because it's on Origin and they can't get it
Yeah.
on Steam. So
I mean, now
like
that
just the fact that it's on Steam and
because
all
PlanetSide 2
that.
has its own launcher, right? And PlanetSide Arena doesn't. Like it's just through Steam.
and it uses your Steam accounts and not a Daybreak account.
Yeah, they could probably implement the features from Steam directly, just using Steam then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about that.
That makes sense. I mean, maybe that's why they did it as well, to not have that, especially because updates too. Because you get like, oh, the game hasn't updated in a while, and then you launch the game, and the launcher says, oh, well, there's 2 gigabytes worth of updates that you missed because you haven't played in a while.
And Steam would just automatically update stuff in the background.
Do you guys launch PlanetSide 2 with or without the Steam stuff? Or you can just to download the launcher, right?
Yeah, I use Steam because
I launch it through Steam.
Yeah, because it just makes it just the list of all my games is easier. But now I've actually been using Discord a little bit more for the list of games because it automatically detects from Epic and Origin and Steam and stuff, Uplay, whatever, and just puts a list of all of them. So I think if Discord does that really well, then I'll probably just use that.
At least it isn't like the Epic launcher. I mean, have you guys heard about Metro Exodus?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I heard about that whole thing.
It has a year-long exclusive sign right with Epic Games to use that launcher.
Yeah.
And it appears to be a big problem, actually, player base.
I kind of thought it looks like a cool game, and now that it's on the Epic launcher, I'm not reinstalling the Epic launcher.
No.
Last time I did it, it was like it took up so much space on my PC. Yet again, I had 2 copies of Unreal Engine downloaded, but we don't talk about that. It's a waste
I
of my
mean,
hard drive.
Fortnite is on there, but I don't
Yeah.
think that Fortnite plays like the concept of Metro Exodus.
No.
A bit more darker, it's a lot more horror.
Yeah.
It's
They like
so much
jumping
more different, yeah.
They like jumping around with shotguns, and Metro Exodus is not going to give you that. I did notice too. Actually, Apex has a really cool anti, jump spam system where you can jump like your normal height like once or twice, and then after that, when you're spamming spacebar, your character just bounces a little bit.
Fortnite has that as well.
Okay,
You
because it
can
used to be
just-
people would just bounce like all over the place in Fortnite.
Yeah. And then PlanetSide 2 has it where it just limits your speed when you're
Yeah,
spamming it.
and actually does it well in PUBG too. When you land, you slow down for a second.
Yeah.
So all the games do it well.
Was
Most.
like bunny hopping a problem in the betas, PlanetSide Arena? I don't think so, right? Because you have the
Bunny hopping?
jetpack.
No, yeah. Because if you spam space, it'll just jetpack you jetpack over and over again.
Yeah, I think you can do a little jump right, but if you keep it like for more than a second, the spacebar, you will just fly over.
Yeah, if you're in the air at all and you hit space, you'll start your jetpack.
Jetpacking, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Faber remembers the game. I think brethnew was that for this game too, right? Yep, I think brethnew died in this part, where I had a fully upgraded jump jet and just shot through the air because of the ambusher
yeah,
jets.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, assault one.
Light assault. Yeah, that was great. So you can really pull off a lot of cool stuff with those jump jets.
Speaking of bunny hopping, actually, it would be cool for a battle royale to implement actual bunny hopping into their game as a form
Oh
of
no.
traveling faster.
Oh gosh,
What?
I have a
What's wrong with
friend
bunny
who-
hopping?
in
If you-
Counter Strike
go
can go
peek,
so
yeah.
fast. It's not even okay. We were literally dying of laughter. I have a recording of it. He was going like 800 miles an hour around the map because he had auto bunny hopping on, and he was just shooting. So,
I mean,
like, it's pretty crazy.
yeah, some people have the macros where it'll just spam space by it themselves. But
Yeah.
if you get really good with
Oh yeah.
timing it and stuff, instead of vehicles, you could have bunny hopping.
You
What
know,
a nightmare.
I think maybe if Counter Strike's, people forget about Counter Strike's Battle Royale because it's horrible. But if people remembered about that,
I heard it was really good.
oh really?
Yeah.
Did you hear that from someone who got an AWP with actual ammo in it or something? Because I had a friend who picked up an auto and there was 2 bullets in it, and then he died because the other person had a pistol with 3 bullets.
Well, I don't know about the actual gameplay, but I heard that the way they implemented it was good because it had like, you could only see so far, and like, I know the engine and the limitations of the engine, the way they did that was good, but I don't know how good the gameplay is.
They've done it really well. Like, it looks good. It looks professional. It's got really cool, like, it's really unique and everything. It's got like the mini map is a physical tablet. You can order weapons and they come in a drone, similar to how, the vending machines in Arena.
Okay, yeah.
Vend weapons. It's kind of like that. But then you can see where people are because there's a drone going to them. You can shoot the drones down and take people's stuff as well.
Oh.
So like it works really good, but like there's 16 players in a match. The map is tiny and kind of bad, and ammo is so scarce. It's not even funny. Like you get a gun, you get some ammo for it, and almost everyone ends up with just a shotgun or a SMG. So, like,
I mean, at least here's me looking at the good part of that. It forces you to be in that range of classic Counter-Strike, at least.
It does, yeah. So that you don't have 800 people dropping in and they're just half of them die right away.
Yeah.
Actually, that's actually an interesting thing. How do you guys think? Because most battle royales, there's always people dying right away when they land. Because they land next to other people. With the size, because I know that Echoes of Amherst map is obviously not as big as the PlanetSide 2 maps. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was bigger.
You sure? Because I thought like Indar was just massive compared to that. I don't know. Maybe it is bigger.
Because Amherst is 8x8, like PUBG, the main map.
about to say it doesn't seem that.
I think the PlanetSide 2 map is bigger.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It
feel like they're a
definitely
lot bigger.
feels bigger.
It does.
Echoes of Amherst feels smaller, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does, I personally, I think, what's it called? I've just lost my train of thought. I do that sometimes.
It's okay.
So, right. Map sizes. How do you guys think? What's going to happen when everyone's dropping? How's the servers going to be able to handle if it's 1,000 players in a match? Knowing the percentage of people that die right away, that's going to be like almost 100 people dying right away. Like
Or more.
Me, Faber, and brethnew were playing the other day. Every time someone died, the game would freeze.
Yes.
So like when we killed a harasser, the game froze for 30 seconds because 3 people died. So imagine, hundreds of people.
Really a bug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. But I mean, even with like working servers and without that bug, that's a lot of things for the server to handle all at once.
That's true.
I wonder how they're going to be able to do that.
I can't say yet what it will be with 1,000 people. The games I did play with 250 plus players went pretty well. Except I did some hot dropping, just to get some feel for the game, for the gunplay and stuff. And those games felt very smooth, but also the time to kill is a bit higher. So if there is a bit of network delay of whatever, it doesn't matter that much. So it is fine, at least to me. I think it will work, and especially we already know that the servers can handle 1,000 plus battles in PlanetSide 2. So I do think it will work.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I think the servers in PlanetSide 2 are limited to like 600 people per continent or something now. I think they've kept on dropping it lower and lower over the years. That's what I've heard anyway.
In PlanetSide 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Although that was, I don't know if you saw Mandalore Gaming's PlanetSide review.
I did.
I know he mentioned it in his.
It
I don't know,
frustrated me, his review.
I don't know if you've seen Serious Gaming's response to that review, but he had a really good response to that review, which entirely basically debunked everything he said.
Okay, because
it was horribly
uneducated. Guys who
uneducated.
haven't seen the video, can you maybe quickly have like a quick review?
So
what's in there?
Right. So he says stuff like, you know how when people spawn, they're kind of invincible until they actually load in? Like, he said that was a bug and stuff like that. He critiqued things that are
There's a feature, right?
Yeah, it's a feature.
He said
bomb protection.
He said it was horribly hard to kill people because people had better guns, and then he proceeded to show footage of him missing 20 shots on a guy and then getting killed by 4 people. And then he mentioned how there was pop-up with characters, which is true.
Is true, yeah.
But the server smartly shows enemies and doesn't show teammates. So it loads enemies first. So the pop-up that was happening, it was loading in teammates late. Yeah. But it makes sure that it gets enemies in first, because teammates aren't going to kill you. Unless you're playing NC, teammates aren't going to kill you. So you don't have to deal with that. So it's okay if those take longer to load in. It's a small downside for...
As an NC main, I don't appreciate that.
As a Vanu main, it's the truth. It's the hard truth.
And nothing
but I respect you.
Okay.
I still feel bad for the NC. They are going to lose their max, so...
I actually don't see it as a nerf.
No?
No.
You see it as when when CSGO tried to nerf the Negev?
I don't play CSGO, I have no idea.
Oh, and they tried to nerf the Negev and they ended up buffing it.
Oh. No, I don't see it as a buff either. I see it as a slight rework.
Okay.
Because they're becoming more accurate. They might be doing less damage, but if you land your hits, they're probably still going to do a lot of damage. And as long as you're just aiming well, I think you'll still be able to kill a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It will be a max anyway, unless
yeah,
even
it's still a max. You're right.
yeah.
What do you
Have you
guys?
guys, by the way, seen maybe the rework of the physics of the Vanguard post-barrel?
There's a
No.
rework. What? No.
Not only a rework, but Rail's testing right now all current vehicles with other mechanics, other physics.
Oh.
So what he did, he
yeah,
used
yeah.
the physics of a Harasser to show off a Vanguard. So he had a amazingly fast Vanguard, which just looked amazing to me. But at least it shows to me that they are thinking about reworking even those old Vanguard systems and old tanks and old, maybe even planes in the future.
I think the Mag Rider definitely needs a rework somehow.
Haha, yes, because it needs to be faster. Because I want it to be faster and better. Because it's not fair. Mag Rider isn't fair. It's not good. I want the Mag Rider to be better.
The one
Please.
thing I don't like about Mag Riders are if I hit anything, my aim is gone. But I also think that with the physics thing, they aren't they doing it so that if there's an explosion happening near you, then your Vanguard or your Harasser or whatever will be pushed by it or something.
That'd be cool.
I think that's what they're doing as well, but I could be wrong. It might already be in the game.
I think there's a reason why the Mech Rider is a lot slower, because you can strafe with the Mech Rider and you can't do that with other tanks.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's true too.
that is true. Yeah.
I find that actually really useful. You can like strafe behind a rock and then pop back out and take a shot and then go right back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I find that it's harder to hit Mag Riders that are strafing as well, just because
It
they're
is.
narrower too.
Yeah, and the best thing is too is you can float over enemy and teammate lightnings because
Yes.
the hover distance is just right at the point where it'll hover right over. I do think it'd be really cool if they'd put if they replace the Vanu's flash with the Tempest, or give everyone a Tempest. I don't know. I want the Tempest to be in PlanetSide 2. I like it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
I think it would be cool if they just made the flashes look like the concept art. Like even just they could act all the same if they just made it look like the concept art even. Which
What
is
is the concept art? I'm gonna look that up quick.
like the TR's flash, instead of having wheels, it could have like tank treads instead. That would be cool. Just make it look different.
Oh, that would be
That
neat
would be
looking.
cool.
And like
Oh, you mean the one where there's a picture, yeah, of a hover bike looking one for the Vanu.
yeah, and like a hover bike.
The
for
the regular flash for the NC.
Yes.
Sorry, NC. And then the one with the treads.
Yes. Just
Hmm.
they could act all the same. I don't care. But just
Yeah.
if they looked different, even slightly, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like that. Because I think everyone needs more. There needs to be more faction specific vehicles.
Yeah.
I would just like the Flash unnerfed, please.
I would like
It's
for them
terrible.
to backwards implements the new thing where you can actually maneuver vehicles when you're in the air. I would like that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it'd be really I think it's really nice in the Flash. I think it works really well in like Just Cause. It has a really cool like you can flip your vehicles and stuff in midair and it looks cool. It feels really cool.
For those who don't know in the chat, in PlanetSide Arena, when you ramp off of stuff from
Mhm.
in PlanetSide Arena, you can control your vehicle kind of like you can pitch it forward and back so you can land on your wheels. Like if you accidentally flip in midair, you can flip it back over and stuff. And he's talking about if they backported that into PlanetSide 2, that would be cool. Which
Mhm.
I totally agree.
I think it'd be awesome. It'd be
Yeah.
nice to have that extra little bit of movement. I think it'd be nice if they also reworked suspension. Feels a bit weird on some vehicles. Like when you when you land, sometimes it doesn't feel like you kind of bounce weird. You kind of just clunk.
Oh,
I think it'd
yeah.
be cool if there's more of a sink to the vehicle when you kind of land. I feel like the Flash has no suspension whatsoever.
Yes.
So it just hits the ground and
And
there's
starts
a
bouncing
clunk
all over the
noise.
place.
Yeah, right. It's that I don't know, like even
The Harasser feels the best, I think.
It does. I think just because its wheels are farther out and more. I think if more, I mean, tanks, it makes sense, but the Flash shouldn't feel like a tank when it hits the ground.
Yeah,
I don't know why it does that right now in the first place.
probably because they don't have a suspension system in the game.
True.
I think
It'd
the
be cool if they had
wheels.
ragdoll too.
I think the wheels are just mostly aesthetic. Like I think they just built a system that made you move around a certain way, and then they put stuff around it to make it look like a vehicle. You know, like it looks like a vehicle and acts like a vehicle, but in reality, when you're talking about game development, those two systems aren't necessarily linked. Like just because it looks like a vehicle, it could fly around and stuff and look like a car.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, they actually made it a car. I think most of the time the wheels are just kind of there to make it look like a car. I don't think they actually have suspension.
I think it depends on the game engine. I think Fortnite like some bit of what's it called gravity system, so you fall down to the ground. I do think that they have like a ground physics, so they have like a bottom floor, and
Yeah.
you can't go beneath that one. So I don't know. Maybe they do have
Well, I don't know
real
about
physics.
that. I
wheel.
have been under the ground in PlanetSide 2 before.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
Yeah, they might actually have real vehicle physics, but I don't think
Mhm.
so.
I think the only game I know of that has true real vehicle physics and just physics in general is Star Citizen. They simulate literally everything.
Yeah.
Like thrust is actually simulated instead of it just being a moving object.
Yes. Like what he means by that is if you were to go into third person and you like strafe, you can actually see your engines have to turn first.
Well, not even
and
yeah,
then
not even that. Just like most games would even have that as they'd code that in to make it look like that.
Yeah.
Most games would have it. You press W, your ship moves forward. You press A, your ship strafes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They literally have it. You're pressing W, it's generating thrust. There's a physical, actual. It's hard to explain, but they've actually simulated thrust instead of taking a box, right, that looks like a spaceship, something that looks like a spaceship with no animation or anything, moving it forward and then adding cool animations.
Yeah.
They've literally made everything work, and that's the only game I know that does anything like that. Every other game just makes it look good after they make it work.
Spartan, did you play PlanetSide 1?
No, I have not. I never did.
Okay.
I'm sad that I never got the chance to.
Dang.
So
They are working on like PlanetSide 1 Forever or something like that. So they will host their own servers.
PlanetSide 1
They will
forever.
bring it back, sort of. But it's like a Kickstarter too, or they are working on it, but
that's
they need
cool.
some stuff.
It would be nice if they made, maybe not PlanetSide 3, but PlanetSide 1 remastered. If they would remaster the game, that would be cool.
Isn't that what PlanetSide 2 was trying to achieve?
Supposed to be. I mean, yeah, but they didn't really remaster it. They just made a new game with a new title and tried to copy it, but from what I've heard and seen, they didn't do a good job of it.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
PlanetSide Forever. Yeah, it looks like a community project.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool that there's community projects going on, because that means the community of only about 3,000 people is big enough to have community projects. Actually, does anyone know the stats on how is the amount of players, has that number gone up since PlanetSide Arena's announcement? Has the PlanetSide 2 player count gone up?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that.
The thing is, when they announced PlanetSide Arena, the servers of PlanetSide 2 were so bad.
Yeah, that's
They were in
true.
a horrible.
That's
So everybody who
Oh
relogged in,
yeah.
discovered the game, was like, okay, was this for a shit game, So I think maybe some more people would have tried the game, but it didn't really stick.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
that new player experience that Faber's been talking about. The reason I was able to stay, actually, the first time I saw the game, it was in my recommended on Steam, and I was going through, and I was like, "Oh, it's free. That's cool." And I watched the trailer, and I'm like, "That looks awesome." And then I looked at because the trailer's cinematic, and then
Yeah.
I looked at the screenshots, and I was like, "I don't want this game." So I moved on, and it came across later, maybe like a month later, and I was like, "Cool." And then there was a day that I was just home all day, and I played PlanetSide 2 for like 8 hours, and I just couldn't stop playing because it's just so much fun once you get into it, and once you like get going, and if you are able to get into those good battles, it's honestly one of the most. It's one of the. I have more fun in that game than I do in Battlefield. Sometimes, I mean, once I get those good battles, I mean,
Yeah.
it's easier to get them in Battlefield.
Yeah, I think it'd probably because in Battlefield it's like
You load into a match.
yeah, you load into a
Yeah.
match that has a certain amount of
Instanced.
players, and
Mhm.
whereas
And that's the thing too is PlanetSide 2 is technically persistent until the continent locks down. So for that entire 2 hour, 3 hour period, it's fully persistent. So anything that happens, is part of the game for that time. In Battlefield, it's instant. You load into a game, you play the match, and you come back, and every building that you just destroyed is now back to how it was.
yes.
Which would actually be cool if there was destruction physics in PlanetSide. I would
There
love
is a
that.
little bit for those playmate. You can, for example, destroy playmate
Right.
walls.
But you have to shoot them for an hour, and they just disappear when they.
it's a boring gameplay
Mhm.
mechanic.
They don't like in Battlefield. It's awesome to have like a tank just explode through a wall, and I don't know if you watch my video, I mentioned this, my delayed video, or my actually the video was delayed too, just as much as PlanetSide was. But I mentioned that at one point NVIDIA partnered with
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Daybreak to have, and it looked amazing. There were some awesome particle effects.
Well, at the
that would
time it
make
was Sony, right?
Yes, it was actually Sony, I believe.
Yeah.
They partnered with them, but since they were still running DirectX 9, I don't think it worked, and I don't think they were able to run it. I wonder if now that it's in DirectX 11, if they'd be able to do that partnership again.
Well,
Or if NVIDIA
they
would try to
still
force
have
ray
the
tracing on them.
they still have the option to enable GPU particles in the graphic settings and stuff. But if you try to turn it on, it just automatically turns off again, no matter what you do. I think with the performance, I think it was the original performance update that they did. They turned it off. Like, you can't do it anymore. It was like a rework of all the code that Sony did.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
working, and it looked really good. It was amazing.
I saw the few little footage that like the trailer kind of footage I've seen. It's really cool. There was like, for example, the gold and the purple beams things that take you up and down.
Yes.
Those looked awesome. They got a cool spinning effect on them.
Yeah.
Explosions were beautiful and amazing. It's the other thing. I think they need some work on their model for. I have this problem with so many games that when you destroy a vehicle, there's an explosion, and then this burnt husk drops to the ground, and it's disgusting, and then it disappears.
Yes.
And I don't like that. Like, for example, Star Citizen does this great. I'm going to keep mentioning Star Citizen because they do everything great. The ship explodes. There's this beautiful explosion at multiple points on the vehicle. There's a huge, explosion, depending on the size of the ship. And then the chunks of the ship, fall or float away, depending if you're space or an atmosphere. And they're not a burnt, dark brown husk. They're the regular pieces, but they're torn at the edges.
Yeah.
There's little bits of metal at weird angles, and there's little fires if it was an atmosphere. If it's in space, the fires are all gone because fire doesn't.
But to be
exist in
fair,
space.
PlanetSide 2 isn't it's not a simulation game.
Yeah,
It's
I do have that problem in a lot of games though, that it's ugly. And it really sucks when you get killed by a burnt husk of a vehicle that fell from somewhere. I hate being killed by teammates Valkyries that explode. They just land on me and I die. It annoys me in a lot of games that they could look so much better. I mean, they don't even have to they could just, make it a bit simpler without having to entirely, because I think it's a different model. It just deletes the actual harasser model, for example, if it's harasser, and replaces it with a burnt husk model. And the burnt husk looks like it's been sitting there burning for the last hour, when in reality it just exploded, of which it should be in 2 pieces and slightly on fire or melted, and not, as it looks afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just kind of someone in chat said Derby's OP, please nerf.
Yeah.
Rel, man.
Let's nerf Rel.
Nerf, please, Rel. Yeah.
What do you? I feel like the explosions from vehicles should do more damage in PlanetSide 2 as well. Like they can kill you. Like I mean, from when vehicles explode. Like
you
after
take
dying.
damage.
Yeah, you
I
take
do like
damage.
that. I don't like games where an explosion goes off and it's like, oh, I'm fine. Well, I mean, it's nice that you didn't die, but at the same time, it adds that little bit of like edge that you gotta stay away from teammate vehicles, because if they explode, you're gonna get hit. So that, like when your ship's getting low or your vehicle's getting low, you want to get out as fast as possible, because even if you get out and you're still close to the vehicle, and when it explodes, you might still die, because you were close to it, even if you got out in time.
Yes.
So it adds that timing kind of edge that you gotta.
That you have to
time
get
it
out
perfect.
and then run away, but like,
Right.
I feel like explosions should be have a bit more gravitas when it comes to the way they look, but also the way they do damage. Like they should do a bit more damage than they already do. It just takes a fraction of your shield.
Oh yeah, that's true as well. I mean, unless you're like right on the explosion when it happens, you gotta kind of. I mean, if you were right next to an explosion, you would die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you would at least be horribly injured and missing multiple limbs. Like, it's not captured as well. A lot of games. I think it's just. I feel one thing too. I was a little bit let down at first, actually, because I saw it and I was like, it looks exactly the same as PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2 is a 2012 game.
Yes.
Like, it's 2019. People expect these games where you can walk through snow and it moves, not not what you get in PlanetSide 2, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, part of it is the gaming community being really focused on really focused on graphics and not much focused on gameplay, which can be kind of annoying, because I mean, it'd be really nice if they weren't so focused on that.
I don't think that community is really focused on graphics. It's really more about gameplay.
It is,
I mean,
and
Fortnite isn't the most beautiful game.
True. Although some people think it is, and that's kind of weird. Some
I
people
mean,
buy $2,000.
The difference. There's a difference between art style and graphics. Like,
yeah,
Fortnite uses the Unreal Engine, and graphically speaking, it actually looks good. Like the lighting's good, the shadows are crisp, everything. Like technically, it looks good, but the art style is cartoony and
the art style. Although also the thing I've noticed too is Unreal Engine very good at making very good at making their engine. Epic Games is really good at the engine they made. They're not very good at using it. Community people are a lot more better at using it than they are. As some of their projects have. Like, they look nice, but they're not to the full potential they could be with the engine.
I noticed Fortnite doesn't run all that well either. Like,
no,
it could just be an issue with my machine.
I don't know why people buy $2,000 gaming PCs to play that game either, because you can run it on a phone. Why would you need a $2,000 gaming PC?
You can't run it on a phone at the graphic settings of PC. Like, it looks way worse on a phone.
But if you can downsize it to a phone, you don't need a crazy good PC for it.
Yeah, I mean, like the resolution on a phone is like 480p, and the textures are like, they're not like 2K or anything.
What phone do you have?
I have the LG V30.
Okay, I was just wondering because my phone's 1080p.
My phone's also, it's like 1440p or something, but
1440. You have a 4K phone?
No, 1440p. Not 4K.
Isn't 1440
No, 1440 is like
1440.
in between 1080 and
Oh, right.
4K. In between,
then
isn't 1440 like 2K?
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That seems right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I think graphical-wise, right now the best thing you can get is like ray tracing.
Well,
I don't think it's ready yet for Slide, but I do think if they get that partnership back with Nvidia for maybe PlanetSide 3 in the far away future, then they can implement that.
Yeah.
But
I think by the time PlanetSide 3 is conceived and started, then ray tracing will be viable. Right now, for the performance hit you take, the graphical increase isn't that great.
Depends how
Once
you do
again-
it.
I mean, yeah. Once again, bringing up Star Citizen, the developers have said they're not bringing it in yet. They think it's a cool idea. Someone in chat said 4K is 2160p.
Yeah.
So they're not bringing it in until they see that it's worth, the hits on the game.
Like there's different ways you can do RTX, for example. Like Battlefield is using it only for reflections. So the shadows and lighting are all the same, but the reflections are the only thing they're doing for RTX.
I don't like that.
Whereas
Yeah.
Metro is using it for global illumination, which is the lighting and the shadows and
Which is, I think, what they should be using ray tracing for over reflections, because I think games are able to do reflections wonderfully because, one, most people don't care about reflections. Two, it works fine.
yeah. But
am I the only one?
What?
Am I the only one running PlanetSide 2 on potato settings, or?
I run it on potato settings too.
Oh, I run it on high settings.
I'm always complaining when I switch it to high. I'm complaining
Oh god,
constantly.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I play it on
Charles
high.
knows.
Perfectly
Is it that
fine.
bad?
I
Wow.
play it on
I have-
mostly high settings perfectly fine. This is a beautiful picture. Whoever Fuzzballs who posted that in Discord, that looks really nice. Nighttime with PS2 with ultra graphic settings. It's amazingly
How do you
beautiful.
play, Charles? What kind of settings?
All ultra except for shadows, which are on medium.
Yeah, who doesn't put shadows on medium? Shadows don't matter in FPS games. Well, they do,
They
but
can.
they don't need to look nice. Yeah, you can see someone around a corner, but I mean, in
Usually, I
PlanetSide
get
2
scared by my own shadow before I see another one.
Yeah.
And then he does his high pitched scream.
But I've
What?
never screamed before.
Maybe he's secretly a groundhog.
Saw my own shadow.
Yeah.
Is
Winter
that more
lasts-
spring or less spring?
That's
No idea.
Less spring.
I honestly don't know. Last spring?
Yeah. If
Great.
the groundhog sees a shadow, he hides more. So
So
Okay.
more snow comes.
I see. Over here in Wisconsin, it's always snowing, so it's basically Canada. It's actually snowing right now.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's snowing for me.
I live in Florida. We don't see that
Nice. We're like, polar opposites.
basically.
Not really.
And Brett's
Basically.
Canadian and Faber is
Dutch or something.
Dutch, oh, whoa. You're
He's
learning.
Australian, isn't he?
Australian.
Aussie.
Australian. Ow. I
But,
see my shadow at 6 weeks of screaming. Yeah, wolf. Ah.
What a question from the chat. And you're playing on Ultra, Charles, right? Why do you
Yes,
play on high settings? Good
because I
question.
think it looks good, and I make content. So
Yeah, same.
Um,
Yep.
and then I
That's
used
the
to play
point.
on medium, and the random idiots that would come in would be like, "Why are you playing in potato mode?" It was literally on medium, though.
Which
Nah.
doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't, but I do. I like the way Ultra looks. So
I think I should try it on Ultra because I think I have mine on high mostly.
I would run it on high or medium or ultra or whatever. But there's two problems. One is the FPS hit, obviously.
Yeah.
And two is if you turn the shadows off when you have higher settings. Like there's a setting called quality setting or something. I don't know what that means. But
it's for quality, Brett. Duh.
No one knows what quality is these days.
if you turn off shadows and you're inside, you can kind of see the sun through buildings and stuff, and it kind of glares. Like, I don't
That's
know
funny.
why.
That sounds
That's
cool.
hilarious.
Beautiful.
I mean, beautiful, but like, have you ever lived somewhere where the sun beams through a wall? Like, has it ever happened to you in real life?
That's very normal in the Netherlands. Yeah,
Okay.
it happens every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I do live in the Sunshine State, so.
Okay. Sorry, I live in the cheese state. We just have
Yeah.
snow and cheese.
Snow and cheese.
So, it might be snow and cheese. You never know.
But like when you can see the sun through a wall and you're trying to shoot at an enemy, I just end up squinting and like, where is the enemy? I can't see him. That's true.
Yeah.
The game is based on spaghetti code.
Oh yeah, they were mentioning that that the original developers was a Sony left
yeah.
horrible spaghetti code for them to deal with.
Yes. I know the guy who did playtesting for Destiny 1 or something. He was working on the code, and for the ASP system, he described it as having to lift up something really delicate, like a vase that was filled with water and not having to spill the water or something. And then like slowly sliding like a delicate piece of glass underneath it, and then like setting it back down on the glass in order to get the ASP system in.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also do think that's one of the reasons why they are working on PlanetSide Arena. Well, I see a lot of people commenting like, why don't they just work more on PlanetSide 2? I also think it's just easier to start over again from like fresh, a bit
Yeah.
more PlanetSide Arena.
Just
I
make your
think if
code
there's-
good from the beginning.
I think if there's ever going to be a PlanetSide 3, it rests on PlanetSide Arena doing well. Because if PlanetSide Arena doesn't do well, their income is based on the PlanetSide franchise is only getting money from PlanetSide 2's small player base buying cosmetics.
Yeah.
That's all they're getting right now. So no wonder they had to basically copy PlanetSide 2 and improve on it to try and. They didn't have any other option. They couldn't rework the engine or rework everything.
And they've got the Russian mafia supporting them, so that's nice.
That's what people say. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
actually, that's for real. The Columbus Nova, that's the actual owner of DBG. They are
Really?
being searched for federal offenses or anything just because of money laundering. That's cool. So it's for real.
It's hilarious.
But they have some real money though. The Columbus Nova is very, very rich. They have got oil companies all over the world. So I don't know. Also, the owner of PlanetSide, of DBG, is a big fan of esports. So I don't know what that's going to add.
Wait, Columbus Nova is an American investment company based in New York City.
Yeah, but that's only the cover-up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, now we're getting
They have
into
to be
tinfoil
based
hat
in the
territory.
US to be.
If you
No, that's for
rearrange
real.
the words, it says Russian mafia.
It's just a cover-up. It's like Area 51.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
They're
as someone
actually-
who was
they
as
actually-
someone who was personally hacked by the Russians,
Okay, you need
I'll
to
believe
stop.
Can't bring your own life into this.
it. Sorry.
Podcast.
Um,
I wonder. We should see if the chat has any questions for us to answer.
yeah, from our very notorious points of view.
I think they'll have a pretty comment. On the other hand, imagine if those 70 whatever devs working on PlanetSide 2 instead of PlanetSide Arena implemented 6v6 or 12v12 matchmaking mode, optimize the game and do some advertising. In my opinion, that would be much better. But we haven't really talked about this yet, but they are shifting away from Battle Royale to something else. Right?
Are they?
Yes, they are more focusing on team-based modes like Team Deathmatch, like Capture the Flag, and less on Battle Royale.
I think it'd be cool if they had like Capture the Flag or Team Deathmatch on launch as well to add to the new modes.
Yeah,
But I feel like 3 is a lucky. 3 is kind of that.
aren't they implementing Team
Third time's a
Deathmatch?
charm. No.
Aren't they implementing
I've
Team
agreed.
Deathmatch for launch?
it wasn't originally planned for launch, but they could definitely do it considering it was planned. It was on the list of things in the trailer. Also,
Okay.
speaking of the trailer, do you guys notice that the trailer the trailer looks outdated?
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know if yeah, I think the well, one it showed tanks, and as
But
we
there
know,
will be
There will be tanks.
and
I mean, we haven't seen them in the battle
Sunrise.
royale yet. That's why I was wondering. Oh yeah, and Sunrise and stuff. It also showed some of the armor looked different. There was a few things I noticed that looked like it was a bit older than. Like it looks like they made the trailer and then changed a few things before the game came out.
Well, the release date and it's also outdated, so there's that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
the trailer. They're gonna have to make a new trailer. I think what they'll do is they'll redo their marketing maybe a month before launch, because they really messed up their original marketing. It was like, hey, look at the game. Here's a trailer. The trailer's cool. The dropping actually in the trailer. That's what was different too. You dropped in the trailer. It showed the pod dropping straight down,
Oh yeah.
and then there was an animation for you getting out of your pod.
I do
Unlike
think
now,
they
it just disappears.
I do think they start from ground zero right now with the marketing and everything because they also did the refund.
Totally. I
Also,
think
we don't even know what the real date of launch will be. It's somewhere in the summer, and the summer is pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's
That's
the
3 months
summer is
window.
like 2 months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when do you expect the launch will be? July or
I'm
August,
thinking-
September?
Probably August.
Hopefully August. Yeah.
late July, early August, somewhere in there, like midsummer. I'm thinking. I'm hoping midsummer.
Hopefully, yeah. Gives them
feel
enough
like
time
that's
to
yeah.
polish some stuff up, make sure that the AK-47 isn't in the game. And
I think those are just there to show if it's an assault rifle, an SMG, or a LMG, or whatever.
when
or
they
a
said
scout
it was
rifle.
coming out in January 29th, I was like, oh, wow, they must have been working on this game for quite a while.
No.
And then I played it. And I played it, and I was like, there's no way this is going to do well if it comes out January 29th. I mean, they delayed it
Well, what are they
before
thinking?
the first. What?
I mean, what are they thinking when they like? Well, we're mid-December, so okay, we can release this game in like 2 months.
That's my major problem with me having any hope that the game's going to turn out okay, because somebody said this game is great and we can put it out next month.
Yeah.
And that person got fired.
Probably.
Hopefully not.
I mean, you never know. It was mentioned that in the original live stream, the one lady who was talking at the start lost her job pretty much right after that. I think she was planned to be laid off anyway, though. So I think she was literally there for marketing.
Oh,
That's another thing. I bet they laid off their marketing team. I bet they don't have a marketing team anymore.
But the woman who left, Sarah Flanagan, she did that on her own choice. She was not fired. She just went to
wow.
the company. That's her personal
see.
choice.
Okay. I think they should release more videos of them riding around on tricycles. I think that's content.
Oh no.
I think that'll hype the game.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't.
That's really the worst decision they could ever make.
They're like, I know how to get people to like this game.
Same with
Let's do
the
the cringiest thing we could possibly do.
same with the one guy acting like Bob Ross, I think his name was.
The guy who dabbed in the background.
The painting, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that was so outdated. Like, come on.
One of them dabbed in the background of one of the developer videos.
Yeah. They're trying to be
Was it the lead
relatable.
developer too. That was the lead developer, wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah, I think it was
Oh,
him.
no.
And then the one guy said, "I love the engineer class. The turret is way more accurate than I am." It's my favorite quote because it's true.
Yeah, and it does a lot of damage.
It tells you where all the enemies are, which is why engineer is a great class. That's why assault is also a great class because they have a jetpack, and why medic is great because they can heal you. There's no bad classes in the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, I feel like the assault is the worst class.
All right. So I like the assault because I can fly really fast and then shoot people. So
So Thel in the
if there were
chat,
shotguns,
that'd be nice. That'd
Phil
be a
has a couple
nightmare.
questions.
okay.
Yeah, a few good ones too.
He said yes, but those game modes could be made easily for PlanetSide 2. Look at what PSB does. I don't know what PSB
Sounds like
is.
battles.
PlanetSide Battles?
There's a
yeah,
esport
yeah.
league.
They should have just made main menu, like matchmaking, custom game, Continental War, and the matchmaking. In the matchmaking, they should have... Why'd you just dab?
Dab.
In the
I dabbed
matchmaking,
too.
they should have had capture the flag, team deathmatch, kill count, or whatever it's called. In custom game modes, you should have been able to make your own games. And in Continental War, it's PlanetSide as we know it now. Personally, I don't think that would have worked because everybody in PlanetSide 2 is into the Continental War idea, and and there isn't enough players to fill out the capture the flag and team deathmatch and all that. I think the marketing for PlanetSide Arena, if there was any marketing, or if there's going to be any marketing, would bring in new players.
See what the Rogue Wolf said in chat? I guess it makes sense that a game from 2012 uses memes from 2012.
But what was the relevant? But to add about the
Yikes.
PlanetSide Battles thing, to me, PlanetSide 2 is about the open world and less about those small 6v6, 12v12 modes. So I do think it's the logical step to make a different game for you guys who would want those smaller leagues or smaller things.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, yeah, right now how it works, it's very, very well done by the PlanetSide Battle team, but it is, it just works, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
They need like a good leaderboard, in-game leaderboard, nothing with those. They need another system for that, not like the current in-game stuff.
Yeah, it's not like it's made into the game. Like you can't. Like they probably just set up Sunderers and then. Like I don't know how PlanetSide Battles do it. Oh, and there goes Faber. He's gone. I need a drink of water too.
Are you gonna start? Are you gonna start?
First,
You're not gonna start battle flipping, are you? We don't need more 2012 memes.
Well, there was a second question by Mr. Pest Ryan. What do you guys think about the PlanetSide Infantry League?
I don't even know what that is.
So also PlanetSide Battles.
Oh.
Oh.
The problem is that I don't really keep up with the community of PlanetSide. I just play the game, to be honest. Like
Same though.
People talk about certain players and PlanetSide battles and stuff, but I have no idea what most of that is.
Yeah, I personally do like esports, and I do like the effort the community puts in it. But I think the game is really limiting. It's a limiting factor in this esport thing. So I don't think it's going to grow really, but I do hope it will in the future, of course. That's my opinion.
I feel like for esports specifically, if they were to balance each of, like, they could just use Echoes of Amarish, for example. They could use that map for 6v6s and stuff. But then you could just cordon off most of the zone, like most of the map, and just kind of set the 6v6 or 12v12 in one of the bases. And if they balance that for actual esports, each of the bases, then for Battle Royale, it'll be balanced anyways. Like it'll just be balanced, the map balance. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Charles,
That's me.
what, you haven't said much. So what do you think?
I've said a lot about what I got to say about a lot of you. The first like 45 minutes of this has been like technical stuff, and that's not my thing.
Yeah, that's true.
What do I think about what?
What do you think Arena could learn from other battle royale games?
Make it free first.
Good one.
First of all, I'm not paying for it again, so either make it free or I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Make it free. They're gonna have to do some sort of marketing. If they don't have a budget for it, they're gonna have to go get a loan or sell their bodies or something. I don't know.
But they use those. They use those in the development process. They can't sell them. They are essential.
I don't know. Make the I like where they were doing where they got rid of fall damage and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, only people who pre-ordered will remember the days when Planet Arena had fall damage.
Yeah.
Watching
when you jump
vehicle.
Yeah, when you'd fling yourself off a vehicle into a wall.
Yeah. Good times.
I love that.
I loved being able to reposition myself into a wall.
Reposition your guts all over a wall.
That was my favorite thing to do.
Oh, hell yeah. So much fun.
I think that the main thing they need to, like, aside from all the little game modes, because I think those would be fun, like capture the flag and all that garbage, but the big, like, 250 v 250.
All that garbage, he says.
The 250 v 250, I think that's where they would shine if they could have the right amount of people play it. So I think that's where they differentiate themselves from, is with the big numbers. But again, if they don't have the advertising to get the big numbers, then there's no point.
So essentially what you're saying is what they could learn from other battle royale games is advertising.
Yes.
But what about Apex though? It had no advertising.
It did after. It had paid a bunch of streamers to play it.
Is that advertising?
Yes. It's 110% advertising.
That is the best type of advertising.
Okay.
Bribery is the best advertisement.
It's not bribery. Come on.
All right. Sorry. It's
if you have your favorite streamer that you watch every single day for hours, because a lot of people do, and they give hundreds of dollars to them, they subscribe to them, and
they start playing this new game.
They see them playing this new game. Mm-hmm. They're having fun in it. It looks fun. The game looked amazing. So that's going to make those people want to play it.
Ooh, and it's free. Wow, look at that. Mm-hmm. Easy win. Then you just download it. I think that's where maybe that's probably what kind of drew in everyone to Fun Side.
What other than advertising and things not part of the game? What do you like specifically? Game mechanics do you think they could add in that could make the overall experience better?
I don't know. The gun, I know the facilities, they've got to change the whole. In Apex and in Fortnite, the everything feels different. You're in a different place. You feel like you're in a different environment. You know where you are. Every time I landed in that map, it felt like I was in the same spot over and over again.
Although you do have like Toxic, and you have like the windmills, and you have from, like, the crystal area, and whatever it's called, Alien. I think there is some cool things, but they need to be more different from each other. There needs to be like maybe big crystal spires in the one region. Maybe I mean, like I think the ones that stand out the most are the wind farm biome, the Central Mountain, the Crystal one, and what do you call it? The War Torn.
Yeah,
War
like the
Torn.
wastelands. I really like the
War-torn.
wastelands.
Yeah. I think War Torn's cool. I did see. I've mentioned this before. There's this huge like railgun looking tank you can find in. It's just massive looking tank. Be cool if they made like an actual functioning version of that thing, because it's just broken. It's destroyed. It's in War Torn.
Oh, the railgun tank. Yeah. They were gonna do an alert for PlanetSide 2 regarding the railgun tank.
Oh really?
Yeah, where like it would spawn, and you could get into it and actually use it or something.
That's cool.
It basically, I think it was more like if you get into it, you start earning points and generating points, and then
cool
for one of your factions, and then those points go towards winning the alert, and if it gets destroyed, it spawns again, and then it's a war on. Yeah, I think that
makes sense.
Was it.
And it'd be cool for what do you call it? Shoot, I've just forgotten again. Why do I do this? Darn, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the different parts of the map.
Right. Oh yes, that's right. For who's excited for like the Bastion fleet carriers being in game in PlanetSide 2?
I am. I'm really excited.
I think they're going to be really fun to use. I don't know how they're going to make them work gameplay wise.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to have it essentially as moving warp gates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Like it's not player control, because if it was player controlled, we'd have sideways, upside down bastions, literally like spinning throughout. It'd be like, I don't know if anyone's ever been in. I don't know if the other factions have this too, but personally, being in Vanu warp gates is the most terrifying thing, because there's like galaxies upon galaxies like flipped upside down. Like, do other factions have that?
No.
No? You've never seen a Tower of Galaxies?
I've seen a Tower of Galaxies, but I rarely.
I've seen piles.
Even on Vanu do I see.
Oh, okay. I get out and it's just lagging. I don't know why. And then a galaxy crashes in the ground because no one can take damage in the warp cape. And then there's like a Valkyrie like stuck to the bottom of it. And then there's like a bunch of scythes like spinning around and like shooting each other. It's chaos because you can't damage each other in there. You can't take damage. So everyone's just messing around and it's crazy.
Speaking of maps, because they're talking about maps in the chat,
mm-hmm.
I have a problem with them adding a new map, and that is,
why?
And that is, Austin is still unfinished. Like, we still have a bunch of construction sites that they haven't finished. They said they were going to replace all the construction sites with actual bases, but we're not getting that now?
I'm not a fan of Austin anyway. I just avoid it in general.
Let's just scrap Austin
it's
and
a
replace
cool,
the other one. How's that sound?
It's a cool idea. I like the the big trees, the low forest, like the swamp. It's cool, and you can like fly ships through it and stuff. But that's about all you get out of it. Just playing the gameplay.
To be honest, as a new player, I never really felt that Austin was not finished. But people kept saying it wasn't finished and needed to change so much. But to me, it's a finished map. It's good. I don't really see the problem with it.
I think having unfinished parts to it makes it seem like it was maybe abandoned, like that maybe war started there before they could finish, making bases and stuff on it.
Austin was the devs' first attempt at big multi-level bases, and it shows, Wolf says. It's true.
Okay.
I think the lattice lines in Austin are probably the best from all the factions. And I like the bases, like the treehouse base, essentially, is just a base in a couple of trees.
The bases do actually have a lot of variation. I like that.
Yeah, and it's I really like Austin. But
at the same time, no one's ever playing there.
Yeah.
The battles are horrible. There's snipers in the trees.
I think it's because
why are they in the trees?
The map balance on the most of the time, like everybody's fighting at Nason's Defiance, which is a terrible base.
And then there's people knee deep
that
in the
hallway,
water, just cloakers everywhere. It's chaos. Like, you can't even have a normal battle without being sniped from halfway
Like,
across the place by someone you couldn't even see because they were inside of a bush.
That's what I liked about old Hossen, actually. Hossen used to have a more dank and dark atmosphere to it, but then they replaced the skybox with...
I'd actually like that. Would be cool.
It was really cool. It made Hossen feel really unique because it was all foggy and you couldn't see very far, which kind of...
I like that.
That negated the snipers. But then
that's how it should be.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Then they replaced the skybox with Amarish's skybox. It looks the same as Amarish and is bright like Amarish, and it just looks like a new Amarish now.
We don't talk about PlanetSide Arena's skybox. It's bright pink, basically. It's just so bright. Can't even look at it.
There's nothing wrong with Amarish, though, to be honest.
No.
Except it's all kind of samey.
I do.
Samey.
Personally, I feel like I have the best battles on Indar.
Yeah.
Just the crown is so much fun to fight over. I love getting on and being like, do we have the crown or no? If we don't have the crown, I'm like, I'm going there. I love fighting over the crown. It's fun. You get that 3-way sometimes battle, and you've got people like storming the hill. It's just cinematic and it's epic.
I actually like what they did with the crown, because the crown used to be a nightmare. But then they changed where the points were. One's now underground and stuff. And like that land bridge, the rocky bridge kind of.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that used to just be
so much fun to advance.
That used to just essentially be flat. Like you couldn't advance through it and stuff. Yeah. But then
that'd be horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And like
the rocks, you can hide up there and walk through it and slowly advance up, and it's really fun to advance through it.
You used to be able to bomb tanks from the crown all the way to TI Alloys, but you can't do that anymore because they changed what they added the infantry turret, and they added that to the crown instead of tank turrets, which is good because they don't shoot as far and don't do as much damage to tanks. But they also redid TI Alloys because that was the most contested base, and now like you can actually get out of the spawn instead of just being spawn camped at TI Alloys. TI Alloys is the new Indar hotspot. It's ridiculously easy to defend. True, it's still a hotspot. They tried to make it not a hotspot, but I mean, it still is. What else do we have to talk about? Does anybody in chat have questions?
Yeah, questions from chat. Be cool. Questions about PlanetSide Arena, about PlanetSide 2, about...
I have some good
anything.
to talk about PlanetSide Arena.
Okay.
About favors suspenders.
Just using my casual... It's weekend for me too.
We have to save that for a whole podcast if we're going to talk about suspenders.
Yeah, I have a friend who would love to drop in to see Faber's suspenders. Faber knows because he tried to take his suspenders. He asked for them. Faber wouldn't give them.
Now, but the thing is, we were playing the last beta test. And I don't know, it's a while ago, I think a week ago. And then we were using, we had a fight, and we had a fight with an orbital strike nade coming in. So we had a proper 3 versus 3. But at the times, I think brethnew got killed, and the orbital strike nade moved like his body like
that was
200 meters away. And so we can safely arrest him. Should the body be moving after an orbital strike nade, or should he be lying there? I think it's great. I think people will end up wasting their orbital strike grenades to get their teammate's body out of an area so they can recover them. I feel like it's kind of a strategy almost. I thought it was epic. Like the orbital strike went off, and I just heard brethnew yell, "What happened to my body?" And Faber's like, "It's all the way over here."
On my screen, it just disappeared. I was like, I can't.
But I don't know. Is it a bug or is it a feature? For me, it's a feature because I love it.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think it's a feature.
I think they should make it a feature. I think right now it's like it wasn't intended. but they should definitely double down on that. Like
Yeah, exactly.
that would be cool.
Isn't that a thing in PlanetSide 2 though with orbital strikes? I'm pretty sure you're.
Yeah,
Your body, yeah.
yeah, it works the
Actually, I
same
don't
way.
know. If you're
I
dead
think it is.
already, your body won't move, or will it?
It will.
I think it does.
It will.
It
Okay.
does get thrown, yeah. Because I think it just throws every object that is like considered an object that can be physically moved. Which probably includes your dead body, because it's just a different animation frame of your character. Since it's not an actual different asset, it's just a different animation, and it's still your character. They'd have to say in the code, they'd have to physically say, when you're in this animation, you can't be moved.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about the death screen right now. By the way,
Yeah, where
if
you
you like
just
this minutes where you have to wait and you can't see a thing.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad.
Would you guys like to see like crawling thing like in Fortnite or like in PUBG if you're playing teams, or is it good like this?
I think they should give you like a pistol or something while you're down.
No.
Like
I think
No.
that's overpowered.
No. I would like a little like knife so I can cut people's toes if they come by me, but that's about
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay.
it's a bit like in Call of Duty when you play zombie mode or anything.
I think there
Yeah.
should be similar to how Apex has it, where there's when you're downed and when you're dead. Because when you're downed, right now you can still be revived, but your character is in a fetal position on the ground, and they're in their dead, because they're in that dead animation. Instead of being in Apex, you get shot and you're dead, all your health is gone, but your character's like on the ground. You still got your knockdown shield and everything, and you can still protect yourself and get your teammates in there. And then after you die, they can pick up your blip it thingy.
Yeah.
And
Like
whatever it's called.
I like that you can still
The
move
beacon.
around and stuff.
And it's helped so you can get to cover, so your teammates can revive you better.
Yeah.
And it's not too unbalanced either, which is good.
No.
So what if they removed the ability to reposition bodies then with an orbital strike grenade and just added that in? Like
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with
I
that
think
too.
That'd be fine.
I do think it's a limitation of the engine because you can't really sit down, right? In PlanetSide 2.
Can like crouch?
Yeah. So I think it will be hard to make like a lot sort of lying animation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've
Like-
noticed in PlanetSide 2 when you crouch and you spam crouch or something, you can kind of glitch further into the ground and stuff. So it's a weird engine limitation, like you said, Favorite.
I mean, you can also glitch up mountains too by spamming spacebar.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and sometimes up
Or just play
90-degree
light
walls.
Or you can just play light assault and not have that problem in the first place.
I mean, everybody's light assault in PlanetSide
In
Arena.
arena, yeah, which is nice. But only one is like super light assault, which I like having that extra. I don't know about you guys, but how do you guys feel about the jetpacks in PlanetSide Arena? Because I know when Faber was playing some PlanetSide 2 and then he came to play the Arena beta, he was like, "Did they change the jetpacks?" I said, "No, they haven't changed it since last time you played. It's just they're different. The base jetpack is different from what it is in PlanetSide 2."
Yeah. It lasts shorter, right?
I don't know. The only thing about the jetpacks, I got a comment on one of my YouTube videos telling me that the jetpack makes fights messy.
Really?
But I don't know, because if I see right now, if I have a fight in Apex Legends, the thing is, if you do the sliding, right, in Apex Legends, and you've got those portals, but with raids, those fights are also kind of messy, because there's just a lot of movement going on.
Yeah.
So I think it's normal.
I think it's normal
part of
too.
the game. Makes it also a bit fast, and I like a bit more faster gameplay too.
Yeah. I think the jetpacks add more versatility to the game instead of like sure it's more messy, but I think the versatility that the jetpacks add outweighs the messiness. But maybe that's just me.
I like the jetpacks as well.
It's more, you have more verticality with the jetpacks, and I like it when a game tries to do that a bit more.
Wolf says, I think PlanetSide 2 players have this expectation of a battle line being pushed. So, which you don't get in a battle royale kind of scenario. So, I guess it makes sense if they're coming from PlanetSide 2.
Yeah, if you look at it like yeah. I mean, if you look at PUBG, there's also more like a battle line because the movement in general is a lot slower. But I do think the pace, the fast pace, is one of the unique things of PlanetSide Arena, especially in the battle royale market.
And you think it's faster paced than Apex and stuff?
Yeah, with the Flash, Tempest, and with the jetpacks, and also the fast movement speed. It's a very fast-paced game. What I personally like so much about the battle royale mode of PlanetSide Arena is that if you want to fight, you go sit in a harasser, and your harasser will be one big hotspot for action. You know, everybody will see you coming, and a lot of people will try to shoot you. So you can force your own battles. Whereas in Apex Legends or whatever, Battle Royale, Fortnite, PUBG, you often have to wait a long time before you get into the next fight. And I like it when you keep fighting in a Battle Royale. I also want the option to have like a quiet time to relax a bit, get some weapons. But I do also like to that you have to more have the choice to force fights with Harasser.
The other thing too is even in PlanetSide 2, it's no fun not having like proper doors. Like just the open doorways is weird. I've never really liked it, and I think the style's weird. But in PlanetSide Arena, I think it works well because, I mean, and there's no incentive to hide in buildings. Like some people in PUBG will just grab some weapons and then hide in a building in the ring the entire game, and then win from doing nothing. You can't really do that in PlanetSide Arena because there's too many doorways for people to walk in and see you straight away, or just shoot you through the doorway because there's no door there to block it. So you kind of have to. You can't like come in and say, "Oh, this place has been looted" because all the doors are open. To come in and say, "Oh, there's item terminal things here, and they're empty. Must have been looted." So you actually have to kind of go in to see that's looted instead of saying, "Oh, the doors are open. We're just going to skirt this area so we don't have to fight," or sit in a building in a corner and close all the doors, or keep some doors open so it looks like it's looted so no one comes and fights you. So there's no incentive to try to hide or to avoid fights.
Yeah.
It's harder to avoid fights. You kind of have to get into those fights.
So
also with PlanetSide being client side, it's a real mess opening doors and closing doors. Because what I do a lot in PUBG is when I have a fight and I close a door, I sometimes am able to shoot through the door because there's a little bit of lag between me and the other clients. And I think in PlanetSide it will be even worse. So yeah, I'm glad they have no doors.
So what is your take on people not liking Battle Royale, you guys?
It's not. It's just kind of the new popular thing, and there's always that. I mean, I've never really been a huge fan of Battle Royale, and that's just because I never enjoyed the game mode a whole ton. I've been always interested in either like big simulators and stuff or huge scale battles and stuff. I've only really gotten more into Battle Royale with Apex and with PlanetSide Arena. I think the few reasons people don't like it are, one, it's just too mainstream for them. They don't want to, be into like, maybe they don't like Fortnite. They have problems with that stuff. Just kind of, it's big, but sometimes it's kind of
So it's
too
like
much because you're like, there's a lot of teams. There's, in PlanetSide 2, you have those 3 factions. So you only have to deal about 2 other teams, right? 2 other teams against you, or 1 other team against you in like Battlefield. In a battle royale, you have teams everywhere that you have to deal with. So like, you might know where one team is, but the other teams could be anywhere. So it's kind of the
So
the uncertainty of everything.
what you're essentially saying is like people don't like it because 1, it's popular, and 2, they just don't have the skill.
Right. If you get into a fight, you might have the skill to take one guy on, but then next thing you know, there's another squad you didn't know was there who's behind you. We're in a linear team deathmatch or capture the flag mode. You know, pretty much everyone is right in front of me. In a match of CS, you know at the start of the round, there's no one behind you.
Okay.
They're all in front of you. You can
So they like
you can
the
interpret where
consistency
people
of
are,
it.
yeah, you can interpret where people are going to be. And then when you look at Battle Royale, it's totally random, and that's what you have to, which is why I hate solos personally in Battle Royale. That's one thing I don't like, because when you're playing solo, you don't have any teammates to help you out, to help you find anyone to watch your back. So, I mean,
See,
in that case, a 1v1v1v1v1 and so on. There's so many people. Everyone you see is an enemy. And everyone wants to kill you. It's just, it can be chaotic and hard to, process all that at once and try to, find weapons and watch out for enemies and get kills and watch the ring and, all that.
See, that's what I like about them. I like the lack of consistency. I like not knowing what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. It opens, kind of, random. You're never going to get a game that's just,
that's exactly
the
the
exact same thing over and over again. Yeah, right.
Yeah, basically.
I also don't get I also don't get the whole only 12-year-olds play, or as Shooty Man says, 14-year-olds.
14 years old.
Play
If
Battle
the ginger kids do I have to feel
Oh, Favor, he's coming right at you.
After the show, Shooty Man, I will meet you 1v1, the crown.
Yeah.
1v1
in Fortnite.
Yeah.
At the crown.
Yeah, we're dropping crown in Fortnite. Hashtag shots fired.
Tilted Towers or whatever.
I think
is Tilted Towers. Pardon?
People say
I was in PlanetSide Arena.
Yeah, it's called The Crown.
I hate when people get mad at me in PlanetSide Arena or really any Battle Royale when I ask where are we dropping, boys, at the start of the round, and then I get like groans back from my teammates. Like, okay, fine, I'll just drop alone if you guys are gonna do this to me.
Before.
Yeah, that's never happened to me.
Brett's a drop complainer.
Am I?
Yes. You
What
say,
do I do?
drop now. Oh, you're not dropping fast enough. You got to go at this angle.
I like to optimize.
He likes his perfection.
Yeah.
He's got to have that optimal angle.
That's actually one of the reasons why I want to get into coding. Is because I like everything to be like perfection.
So you can decide
who
dies and who lives. Fun. That's why I want to get into graphic design and 3D modeling and stuff, because I like making stuff and making stuff look cool.
I want to get into coding because I like
spaceships.
I like the efficiency of well-made code.
Totally. If I had to do anything else besides 3D modeling or something, coding would probably be my second thing.
Do you currently 3D model?
I've taken like some minor classes and stuff. There's a summer camp I do that's really cool. I haven't done a whole ton, but what I have done, I've just enjoyed. I had a class, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago, where we did 2 years ago actually, yeah, where we did some 3D modeling and stuff in class, and we had to, one of the units was we had to take a scooter and take it apart and measure all the parts and everything and then make 3D models of them. And I was really good at taking those parts and making exact 3D models of them with Autodesk Inventor and stuff. So I think it's a lot of fun. I'm pretty good at it, and I enjoy putting stuff together. And I'm pretty good at I like as a kid I liked Legos a lot. I'm good with those. Those are fun. It's just the creative freedom of just game development in general is great.
I think Shitty Man thinks you're a child, Charles.
That's actually the mother of my child clanking dishes in the background. Shooty man, thank you.
Well, we're talking about Battle Royale, right? Before the coding.
Yeah.
I actually want to add something about that still, because I do think it's also a bit of a generational thing. When I look at my you can see on YouTube the range of ages people watching,
Yeah.
and my biggest age group is 18, 18, 18 until 30, and then 30 until 41. And actually, the last one is the biggest one. I think that group grew up with Team Deathmatch, with Free for All, with Capture the Flag, and not really with Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I do think the younger age groups, are more into the new stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. That would make sense. Like
Or maybe it's just
I
maybe it's
grew
just
up in.
'cause-
Go ahead.
maybe it's just because Faber's such a gentleman that he gets all the older viewers.
Do I? I don't know, man. I think it's okay, but I'm in between. You know, I'm in between Medal of Honor, playing Team Deathmatch and the old Call of Duty stuff, and also when Fortnite came out, I did not play Fortnite, but PUBG and Ring of Elysium I played a bit. So I don't know. I like Battle Royale because it's something new, something different. It's a twist from Free for All, but on a bigger scale, and that's why I like Battle Royale. And can be only one winner. If that makes sense.
Old Call of Duty stuff. That's not that old. Like
I mean, Call of Duty 2 is old.
I played what I used to do. I played like team deathmatch or capture the flag on like Team Fortress Classic and stuff like that, where it's like the traditional. I never did Quake. Like I'm not old, dudes. I'm not an old fart.
Whoa, Wolf.
Whoa!
Careful.
I did say
Favorite-
Quake champ.
Faber, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How does your hair like that headset? I feel like you have horrible headphone hair when you take your headset off. Do you have like a nice dent?
Yes, it sticks. I can't
Yeah.
I can't really show you. But it's horrible. It's very horrible. By the way, Charles, how many subscribers do you have? Are you close to 1,000 already, or
No.
not yet?
It's definitely haven't gained that much since last week, but I am
Okay.
I am at 690, I believe.
Okay. We're getting there.
Yeah.
In a few weeks, we'll get maybe our first webcam session with.
I just
Can
realized.
stop googling random pictures of squirrels.
I just
Yeah.
realized my bathroom door has been open the entire time.
Brett.
And last time you told me to close that sucker, so I will do that.
Okay.
But that's something I wanted to talk about too, because I think I did already a bit previous week, but we're talking about esports because I think actually, because I was talking about Columba Nova, those are real fans of esports and also esport coverage. They made a mistake with H1Z1 previously, but I think they have learned from a mistake, so they don't need to pay players to participate in esport, but they have to let the community do it themselves. At least that's my belief. Because right now there is a small esport community for PlanetSide 2, and those are all based on voluntary stuff. They don't really get paid, but they are passionate about the game and they want to show what they can do. And I think if they make the tools, make a good observer mode, make a good leaderboard and those stuff, they actually can do some stuff for esport too. But you guys aren't really into esport, are you?
I am. How many players do they do on those esport teams for PlanetSide?
It's 6v6.
Okay, I think it'd be cool if they had like full platoons doing yeah.
They also
I'm
do
in.
outfit versus outfit, but I don't know how big the outfit versus outfits are.
I'm in Sokar's Legion at the Emerald server. Very, very much enjoy, getting together with them and doing like huge tank runs, and it's just those huge battles are awesome, and that's kind of the spirit of PlanetSide, and that would be a really cool thing for esports.
I mean, like, I enjoy watching like the competitive things, like on Twitch and stuff. But like our whole thing is like our outfit. It's not really a competitive type thing. It's just we're there to have fun and enjoy ourselves type of thing. So I've never really done anything too competitive. I did play a little competitive Minecraft back in the day.
What?
Heck yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? What is competitive Minecraft, man?
Okay, well, I was a part of a server, and I guess I technically still am. And we would have what you would call a UHC, which is where you would fight. You would get dropped into a map and you would fight, and you would not regen your hearts. You could only use like golden apples and stuff to regen your hearts, and there would be like the people running it would be like watching it and like stuff like that, and then we would just all fight to the death.
Huh.
With everyone with like
Interesting.
everyone that was like interested on the server. I came in second once and I won once, and I only played it twice. That's the extent of my my
You're
esporting.
competitive, okay.
That was his esports career.
Yes, finished on top.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
nice.
Oh.
That's wonderful.
But when I was also thinking about it because the viewership Apex Legends gained when they host like a 50k tournament was
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
They went from like 200k viewers to 600k viewers on Twitch alone.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah, I
attention
saw
on
that.
big tournament between, for example, big streamers could be huge for this game.
Yeah, I think so too, especially with the more fast-paced gameplay. It could be like being able to reposition yourself in skirmishes with the Flash and the Tempest and stuff would definitely add something to...
No, I think actually Shroud and Dr. Disrespect and Ninja would have a blast playing this.
Oh, they
Like-
would, yeah.
currently, with its unfinished state.
They'd be really good at it.
Or
Okay,
you,
well, give
are
them
you-
some more time.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool because I feel my thoughts too was that Apex would maybe be the casual game that a lot of people played, and PlanetSide could be that competitive game because Apex has a casual feel to it, just the 60-player matches. It'd be more of a casual. You jump in, load into a match quick because the loading times are so short to load into a match. Quick load into a match, play a match or so. It'd be fun. And
Yeah.
then PlanetSide would be that thing where you waited longer to get into the match and had that long, nice kind of match of you just playing and be really more competitive and on edge.
Very
Yes.
on edge.
I suppose. I don't know. I'm a salty vet, as some would call. But I'm very critical when it comes to these kinds of games.
Yeah.
Especially if Battle Royale comes to... I guess when Battle Royale comes to PlanetSide. But... like, I don't know. I made the video where I just criticized the game the whole time.
No
But
positives, Brett. No positives.
There was like no positives whatsoever. But
I've heard so many comments from like people saying that PlanetSide Arena will be a big cash grab, some last effort to gain some quick buck for the company. Well, then they did like the refund and also the delay, so they showed they would be able to pay some developers a bit more, give them some more time to finish the game. So that made me feel a bit more positive. Actually, a lot more positive about the future of the game too.
yeah,
I think
same.
that's not really a reason anymore to say this company is a cash. Okay, maybe a little bit.
I think they had an idea originally to, have this. I think the original idea was, we're we're losing the Battle Royale game right now. We've just H1Z1 is not doing well. We've got this other first-person shooter here, the franchise, with an already existing franchise. What if we make a Battle Royale of this and possibly save the company, and at the same time save the PlanetSide franchise, and maybe be able to bring in money to continue development of the PlanetSide franchise? Because otherwise, they would have ended up fading, and I don't know who would end up with the PlanetSide license. Hopefully, not EA.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I mean,
Activision.
if they were to get it, it would be cool. Like they'd maybe make a nice game, but at the same time, it would be like really small. It would be like Battlefield sci-fi. That's all it would be. It's microtransit with loot boxes. Yeah.
It would
I
be.
think this game does kind of compete with Battlefield in one sort of way. So not really logic to buy this game as being EA. Especially if they want to try those bit more bigger battles on Arena. Maybe they'll even do 32 against 32, like the 64 player battles in Battlefield. But I don't know. Maybe in the future, even Battlefield will come with like Battlefield 2143, like a successor to the old Battlefield futuristic game.
Was there a futuristic Battlefield game?
Yeah. Battlefield 2142, I think.
Was it 2949?
I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't 2949. Sorry, I'm thinking of no. That's something different. That's the year in Star Citizen right now.
Yeah, it's 2142.
21.
And it
Oh,
was
yeah,
more
that's
or
right.
less. It is more or less actually PlanetSide 2, like shooting wise and stuff.
Yeah.
Only the map is a lot smaller.
Are we going to
Well,
talk
right now
about?
they're doing Battlefield World War II, and before they did Battlefield World War One. They might go to the future soonish.
They probably will. They'll go modern and then future, is my guess, just because World War games are kind of outdated again.
Yeah, the World War wipe us over, and I actually think that sci-fi, especially with Apex right now, is having a reborn hype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is perfect timing for Star Citizen to be released. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, and Halo Infinity too later this year.
Oh yeah, and I hope Halo Infinity is good.
It seems like
I'm actually kind of excited for that.
Halo Infinite looks like it might be a more open world and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
The open world?
It might. I mean, they showed off a lot of landscapes and animals and stuff like that, so never know.
So a bit more like Destiny then, or?
I hope not. That would.
Because I've not really seen like PvE in Halo before. Not really.
Well, it would be like an open world campaign, maybe. Like maybe the campaign takes place throughout the open world map and stuff. That would be
cool. But as long as it will have like a decent multiplayer shooter mode.
Yeah. I imagine they'll stick with the small maps with multiplayer.
Yeah, they should.
Well, if they don't,
I'm just imagining right now for PlanetSide Arena, they will just get chunks of the map. We'll use them for the team net matches.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
I'm scrolling through YouTube right now, and there's a video by Faber Ones that says PlanetSide Arena will ever come to PS4. There's an X over the PS4 in the thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah. PlayStation 4, man. I'm not a console player. Don't really like it.
Me neither.
Try it,
No mind. I mean, it's great because it'll bring more people to the game. You know, people will see it like, oh, it's on PS4. Okay. And PS4 claims that they're the best place to play. So, obviously, people will, you know. I mean, it's kind of weird, though. They don't have Xbox support. I mean, probably Xbox
PlayStation is
software.
Clearly the biggest platform,
It is.
console-wise. So I get it, and they already have the ties with Sony.
Yeah, that's true. So Sony will be like, okay, sure, let's put it in.
But just in general, I think it's a good they have a bit broader launch.
Yeah.
Apex is the same, with also on PC, but also Xbox and PlayStation.
Sure.
It can't hurt, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, with Xbox One X and and stuff like that. Like, do you think the power is going to be able to handle the larger, I mean, Xbox One can barely handle PUBG. Do you think it'll be able to handle?
Yes or no? If DirectX 11 is going to bring big changes, I mean, we've seen how the PlanetSide 2 version works on PlayStation 4. It works, but it doesn't really.
Yeah.
So if they can bring up the frames, they probably will be able to. And also the menu screen and the whole UI is made for PlayStation. It feels to me, in Arena at least. So I think it has a place, and I think they this time decided to not really port the game from like PC to PlayStation, but think about it beforehand.
Yeah. I think that's probably a better thing than just porting. Like,
Yeah.
porting it was not a good idea for PlanetSide 2, in my opinion. Because then you have a bunch of players that are hoping for certain features from the PC that'll never make it to PlanetSide PS4.
I think the PlayStation 4 has like the saltiest fats of all players in PlanetSide. It's
Really?
they still keep playing on the PlayStation 4. It's amazing. Those are hardcore players.
Wow. I don't really keep tabs on the PlayStation 4 port.
I get so many comments on. I don't have one myself, but I get so many comments talking about how crap the PlayStation 4 version is. So
Yeah.
I feel very sorry
Same.
about them.
I wish I got comments on my videos.
Same.
Is it sellout time again?
Sellout? Yeah. Sponsor. But
Got Twitch Prime, boys. Never mind. Mr. brethnew is not affiliate yet.
no,
Well,
I
will be
wish.
soonish.
Me neither. I have a solid 4 Twitch followers.
Oh, very nice. You're getting
Yeah.
there.
Wonderful. Yeah, just 4. I really haven't set my Twitch up yet. I'd probably at some point going to set that up this week. If I can get to it, be nice to. I might set up OBS as well. Have some stream overlay and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
But
I can get that working.
It's basically been 2 hours, and so that's pretty much all the time we have for today. But I want to thank everybody for joining. Thank you, Faber, Spartan, and Squirrel.
For sure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I guess it's gonna be. Where's it gonna be hosted next time? Where do you
Not
think?
mine.
Not yours. Not Squirrel's,
No.
because his internet is broken.
Then I get my place.
Yeah, it'll be on Faber's.
Sounds good.
For those watching on YouTube, the link for Faber will be in the description. And for his YouTube and his Twitch. But make sure you go follow everybody and subscribe to everybody.
Yep, I'll put everyone's. I'm gonna edit this. I recorded the footage or the audio at least. I'm gonna edit that into a video. Just some highlights from it.
Okay.
I'll make sure to put everyone's YouTube's, everyone's. I think I need Ninja Squirrel's stuff, of course. But I'll put Twitch's, everyone's Twitch's, YouTube's, and all that jazz
All right.
in the description so everyone can see those. So for people watching on YouTube, go check the description out. It has information and stuff there.
I mean, basically, we are the 4 best, coolest guys on Twitch right now, and YouTube, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
obviously.
Check us out.
Yeah.
Check us
And
out.
also the best looking as well.
Oh, for sure, man. Have you seen my my hair yet? It's ugh.
Oh,
I'm sure it
that,
looks wonderful
that
after you
dent.
take your headset off. Yeah,
Oh.
the dent.
It's
all right.
fine.
Well, and I want to thank everybody in chat for joining as well. And goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Peace.